when I get to Flores, I fell in love with the island. I fell in love with the people, and I felt like I can contribute something to the community and to the Flores Island people. So we get to see the other side of the world. So the more, personally, the more I felt like I want to go back and help these people, the community, those who don't have the access to education, access to healthcare. Well, Istiklal is a very open community. They are open to interfaith dialogue, tolerance. I'm very happy that I get to explore and immerse myself in Istiklal. I learned so much, from students as well. Actually, I was teaching them, but I get to learn more.
Recently, President Prabowo signed joint statement with Chinese, with Xi
Xi
Jinping. What do you think?
Well, as a Chinese Filipino, I'm very happy for you. And hopefully, with this joint partnership, you will build more hospitals, projects that will be a big help for the community and people. So, working with China, I think, will be very beneficial for Indonesia and its people.
Obrolan singkat kita dengan Rania, seorang Filipino yang hari ini berada di Indonesia dan ingin doing business or berbuat bisnis atau juga sosial yang disebut dengan social entrepreneur. Dia lihat bisa mendapat teman-teman bisnis yang baik untuk bisa bekerja dan juga membantu masyarakat yang membutuhkan. Well, Rania, I'm wondering, there are many countries in the world. You study in Harvard. It's not only learning about history, as you said, business and history. Your professors told you that
It's
you have to
connected.
want to do business. You have to study history.
Or learn history.
You have to learn history. Uh, why that? How you found Indonesia, especially Flores, to your destination?
Well, initially, I'm not interested on exploring much of Indonesia. It's just that I was invited to join the summer school program in Flores Island. But when I get to Flores, I fell in love with the island. I fell in love with the people, and I felt like I can contribute something to the community and to the Flores Island people. And, so I think that's something that I been wanting to do since then. So I was thinking, how can I go back to Indonesia and maybe contribute to the people? But at the same time, of course, I know that as you do the social programs, it needs to be sustainable. So you cannot just help and you're gonna get drained. But that's why it's important to also do some business, and let's say livelihood program.
So it's sustainable.
Yeah, so to sustain the program, the help. So, so in terms of history, because you have an understanding of history, you know that the best place to invest or to develop a business is to the developing countries. So here in Asia, so in America, it's already full and developed. So here in Asia, East Asia, such as China, Korea, Japan, it's already developed. And in South Asia, of course, I don't have much friends there to get in. So since I'm a Southeast Asian, here in Southeast Asia, we know that Malaysia, Singapore, it's already developed. So as a Filipino and Indonesia is closer to us. So I think this is the area that we can reinvest our money and also expand our businesses from Philippines to Indonesia, or perhaps projects from Indonesia can be brought to the Philippines. So so somehow if you have like understanding of how the geopolitics and things are unfolding, you will know where to bet your money.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah, yeah,
you know
yeah.
which business or which country or place to invest.
Yeah, you mentioned about starting from summer school program, your colleagues from everywhere, every countries. Then uh, your team come to Flores, right? How many how many person of you and they have come? Where are they from?
They're from America, Europe, Africa, Asia. I mean, Southeast Asia, East Asia, South Asia.
Mm.
So they're from everywhere. So we gather in Flores Island,
Mhm.
probably around 50 or something,
Oh,
20 to 30, yeah,
oh,
around
many
those times.
many. They
Yeah.
come and then what they get from there? What they see?
We build schools.
Oh.
We get to visit different provinces in Flores, from Larantuka to Labuan Bajo.
Uh-uh.
We get to meet the Bupati, the governor, and
Mm-mm.
the local leaders, the tribal leaders as well. So we get to immerse ourselves to the community
You
in
work
Flores.
together with community to build the school. That also your team also build
Schools.
join to build the schools.
Yeah.
Not only giving the money
No,
or
we really build like yeah. I still have the photo that we're
Yeah.
building like a construction worker in
yeah,
Flores.
yeah. Like oh yes, that's great. So how they feel it, your friends in summer school feel about
We
it?
were very happy, you know. It's something new to us because, of course, back home we have a very comfortable life. So the time, you know, we were so tired, so exhausted because like every day we have to move. So we have to like travel from different provinces, like you know. So it's very challenging, very challenging, but very rewarding to seeing, you know, seeing the result of your contribution. It's pretty rewarding.
So your friends went back to their countries, and then uh, do you ever seen what their comment or they're writing something?
Yeah, they wrote a lot of articles and their experiences in Flores Island. So yeah, they're very happy with the exposure, and that also made us all grounded, you know. So we get to see the other side of the world. So the more personally, the more I felt like I want to go back and help these people, the community.
Yeah. I think it's the impact or the result of the program like this. Maybe there are 20 people, there must be one that look deeply
Right.
and trying to come back. That's you. I think
Yeah.
maybe from those your friends
Right.
went to Flores first time, then only you now come back.
Right. Yeah.
So why you want just to come back to?
I've been very involved with the marginalized sector and the indigenous people in the Philippines, like the Mangyan tribe and the Dumaga tribe. So, social work or something that a program like this, you know, helping the community is very close to my heart. So, you know, as a young person, I think it's our role to also make a difference in our society and community, not just in our own country, but even to other countries who probably need our help, or at least, you know, a community that we've experienced before and we want to help more or do more.
Well, sobat leader, Rania ini seseorang yang hidup dari masa kecilnya, hidup dari satu keluarga yang dibilang kalau di Indonesia disebut konglomerat mungkin, atau keluarga pengusaha besar, dan hidup dalam sebuah kehidupan yang kelasnya they have. Tapi dalam perjalanan hidup dia merasakan selalu pingin hidup dengan hal-hal yang biasa, yang orang-orang ordinary itu, orang-orang yang tidak beruntung itu, dia ingin merasakan itu. Dan ketika mereka bersama-sama belajar di Harvard University, dia dan teman-teman tuh datang ke Flores, sekitar puluhan orang, mereka bersama-sama datang mengumpulkan uang dan datang mencari sekolah-sekolah yang rusak, mereka bangun bersama dan mereka enjoy dan mereka pulang kembali ke negaranya, mereka menulis tentang indahnya Indonesia, indahnya Flores yang mereka kunjungi. Dan satu hal yang menarik bagi saya adalah Rania yang tinggal di Indonesia. Artinya dari semua teman-temannya pergi, dia kembali ke Indonesia. Ada kerinduan dia untuk bagaimana ikut bersama-sama membangun masyarakat atau membantu masyarakat yang tertinggal atau yang tidak beruntung di Indonesia, terutama dalam masalah pendidikan dan masalah kesehatan. Dan Rania masih bicara soal itu. Saya mau tanya soal filosofi hidupnya. Apa sih? Karena pilihan hidupnya agak jarang oleh orang-orang seperti dia ini, yang kalau orang tuanya punya untuk apa hidup susah-susah, dan orang tuanya mungkin gelisah juga melihat cara hidupnya Rania. Well, Rania, before we go to the next question, this is a question for me is, what is your philosophy in life?
Well, with the work I'm doing right now, I really want to bridge the gap between the privileged few and the underprivileged majority Southeast Asian. So, as you do business and as you do some big projects, you also want to bring the marginalized sector, elevate their life, elevate their education, teach them more. So I think it will be more fulfilling as we do business. We are also bringing the people with us. So, yeah. So for me, I think very rewarding and very fulfilling to see that we are able to elevate and also educate the life of the people and the people that those who don't have the access to education, access to healthcare, and we became the gap or the bridge. We bridge the gap to these two group of people.
Yeah. What you're doing is what the BBC, British Broadcasting Corporation, doing in what there is a foundation there called Oxfam, doing because they are connected with the BBC, because BBC is a public service broadcasting, and Oxfam raising fund from people all over the world, from every conglomerate in the world, 10%, asking 10% of their money, and to help people in every country, in Africa, also some in Indonesia. That they get billions of dollars to help people go through with a public policy, for example, because they know like education and health care is a problem of the underdeveloping countries, like many countries such as Indonesia too. Indonesia is developing countries, but still there are many people still underdeveloped.
Correct.
So what you're doing, do you want to make it like this, or a foundation that will asking money from the big business all over the world to, or you yourself, you want to?
Technically, we're not asking money from businesses. So, I'm very shy to ask that thing. It's just that on my own money, our family business, we just allot a percentage to our social projects. And I think it's more of a personal contribution to the society. So from the beginning that I've been helping these communities, I never ask money from anyone. It's just our own money.
Yeah, but not easy. You have money, but you want to assist
Yeah, that's
someone or
why.
to some company or a village or a country or something like that.
That's why, as I said, business is very important. That you are doing an entrepreneurship or business deals so that you can give. That's why it's, if you're just gonna focus on giving without making it more
Business,
sustainable,
yeah,
you will get drained.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that is why I also wanted to combine the entrepreneurship and the social impact that we can contribute to the people.
Yeah, many people, many big business come invest first. Then when they're growing up, their business growing up, and they have social corporate responsibility and giving free to the
Right,
people.
right.
But it is different from you. You giving it first,
Yeah.
then you want to find also how to sustain
Right.
by doing business and helping the people.
Right, because in investment, you cannot just invest right away. And as a foreigner, it's very hard for me to
Yeah.
just invest my money and get fooled.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a total different country, culture, and I can't read or speak Bahasa yet. So I think but I want to do something here. So I think being with these people, immersing myself to the community, gives me a glimpse or an idea of how the society works, or what's the need of what are the needs of the people, what are the areas to develop, what are the areas to fill in, or sector to work on. So I think as a wise person, you don't just decide right away, right? So that's why, as I said, history is important because it's good to take things slow, learn first, immerse yourself first, but at the same time, contribute to the society. But we cannot just contribute. Yeah, we
Have
have to make
you
it more sustainable. So
Yeah. Have you seen uh, a business opportunity in your view? You have already doing something for helping people, but do you have see any business opportunity in Indonesia?
yeah, the
In what
opportunity is
field?
very big. Like healthcare and education as well.
Hmm.
So currently we're helping in Istiklal.
Mm.
So I'm a volunteer teacher, professor in
Oh.
the S2 and S3 program inside the mosque. So
Mm.
yeah, they have PKU, Masjid Istiklal. So they have students there. So I teach them English, business,
Mm.
economics,
In
history.
Indonesia, you also a teacher.
But no, it's just a volunteer
A
thing.
volunteer teacher, yeah.
Yeah, in Istiklal Mosque.
Istiqlal. Yeah, Indonesia is a maybe it's the most differences in the world. Most differences country in the world
Diver-
have a background differences.
Yeah, very
most,
diverse. Yeah.
Most, yeah, very diverse in the world. I ever told to one of the candidate of U.S. president in 1994 when I was in VOA. I study,
Voice
Voice
of
of
America.
America. We have a course there, and I have a chance to interview that guy.
So in
What
Istiklal, they have Voice of Istiklal.
and Voice of Istiklal. And I asked why, what make America the great country? They
Mhm.
said because the differences.
The diversity.
Indonesia should bigger than U.S. because Indonesia most
Diverse.
difference from U.S.
Right, right.
He said. So, when you came here, you come to Flores, then you come to Java, you come to Manado, or to
I haven't
Sumatra.
been to
There's the difference.
Yeah, very.
If you want
Sulawesi.
to go to Java, you eat something sweet, yeah. You go to if you need spicy, you go to Manado or to NTT or Nusa
Yeah, very
Tenggara.
spicy.
So you can taste
And the
different.
Sulawesi food is very similar to Philippine food too.
Yeah, similar. Yeah,
Yeah.
they like spicy too, right?
Yeah, but when I visited Makassar in
Yeah,
Pesantren, uh, I was so surprised and happy because I see like a lot of similar foods to the Philippines.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
Philippines.
like bandeng and
Bandeng. Huh?
yeah, the fish, right? Milk fish. So that's our national fish. So yeah, so a lot of similar foods. So
Similar.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The differences in Indonesia, religion, etc., like Muslim, Christian, Catholic, and
Hindu.
Hindu, Buddhist,
Yes.
and also like belief, the religion of beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that you mentioned about Istiklal.
Mm-hmm.
What have you done in, or what you do in Istiklal, or
So
work with Istiklal most?
So initially, where I was just a volunteer in the S3 and S2 program.
Mm.
So I teach the students there. And then as I was, going back and forth to Istiklal like weekly
Mm.
basis, so maybe 2 to 3 times a week that time. And then I get to make more friends like in the Istiklal Global Fund. So yeah, I work with the IGF to, and to the imam, to
Mm-mm.
his pesantren. So we're developing uh, the education, like the English
Mm-mm.
laboratory. Yeah. So it's interesting because they have like 540 branches of pesantren.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to visit the pesantren in Makassar. So yeah. So they're currently developing the 200-hectare pesantren in Makassar. So it's an ISO certified pesantren.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, very very good projects to educate the young Indonesian to be a global leaders.
What you learn in when you work with Istiklal most?
Yeah, well, I'm very happy that I get to explore and immerse myself in Istiklal. I learned so much from from students as well. Actually, I was teaching them, but I get to learn more. Like,
Yeah, learn each other.
they share with me the struggle of the teachers here. Like the salary is so small,
Mm-mm.
the healthcare system as well. Those that interest me, like healthcare and education. I get to understand better perspective and the needs of the people. They say it's very expensive, and their sentiment that, of course, rich people they can go to Singapore or other countries to get treated, but the marginalized or the poor people, they don't have access to a good healthcare too. So I think hopefully we'll be able to contribute something to the healthcare and education here in Indonesia.
Mm. So when you see Istiklal most from outside, what's the pictures of Istiklal for Indonesia or the world?
Well, Istiklal is a very open community.
Mm.
They are open to interfaith dialogue,
Mm.
tolerance, and
Yeah, Pop also come
yeah.
to
So
visit.
I was there during his visit. It's very warming, heartwarming, because people outside Istiklal thought that probably Istiklal is like this, like that.
Mm.
But when you get there, you will feel it like a home.
Oh yeah.
Because they're very welcoming and they're open to like Christian faith, other faith, the Latter-day Saints. We have like interfaith dialogue, and there are so many visitors, leaders from all over the world, right? And right now, last year they just launched the American space, the first American space
Oh.
inside the mosque, and this year during the Pope visits to Indonesia in the afternoon, we launched the China space,
Oh,
the first
there is
China
two
space.
Chinese space and American space
Yes.
in
Inside the
inside
mosque.
most Istiklal.
Yeah. So,
So that's great.
you see, it's a very, very welcome and open community.
Mm.
And Yeah, I'm happy with the leadership because they welcome different people who wants to learn more about Islam, about Indonesian culture, and we get to see that there are students that they are educating women and men, children. So yeah, it's
Mm.
a very good community.
So, when you see Istiqlal as a symbol of Indonesia, tolerance, etc., how or what would you want to do to assist, or something that you need to assist, or to try to attract to assist this Muslim people?
Well, since I volunteer in Istiklal, every time that I have friends coming over to Indonesia from Europe, America, or Philippines, I always bring them to Istiklal.
Mm.
So we're quite amazed, the grandness of Istiklal, the people there, the beauty of architecture and everything. So I think most of my friends are non-Muslim, so they are very happy to see a Muslim community who is very welcome because, if I may say, of course, media has a different perspective
Mm.
of regarding Muslim in the Philippines and in Europe, in
Yeah.
America. So I think it's also good to showcase the Islamic religion in a different perspective.
That's great. Well, sobat leader, Rania bercerita tentang bagaimana dia bisa get together atau bersama melihat Masjid Istiqlal yang begitu indah, dan dia ajak teman-teman dari luar untuk datang dan berkunjung ke Istiqlal, dan mereka melihat sesuatu yang luar biasa di sana, yang di sana juga bahkan sudah ada namanya ruang Amerika, ada American Space and Chinese Space, atau ruang tempat untuk Chinese. Artinya bahasa juga akan mungkin bisa diajarkan di sana. Mereka bisa belajar di sana. Dan itu simbol Indonesia, toleransi yang hebat yang mereka lihat. Sehingga mungkin dari kita sendiri ada yang mau ke Masjid Istiqlal itu kayak bagaimana, tapi orang luar sendiri melihat Masjid Istiqlal suatu simbol dari toleransi. Dan ini menarik bagi kita untuk belajar bagaimana orang luar melihat kita, bahwa kita ini unity in diversity.
Yes.
Kita ini benar-benar Bhinneka Tunggal Ika,
Iya.
berbeda-beda tapi satu. Ya, agama itu tidak menjadi problema. Well, Rania, saya kira I think that we are already talking much about Istiqlal, about Flores. Now we move to healthcare. What is your opinion about when you see Indonesia, you see what healthcare in Indonesia?
Yeah, so when I get here in Indonesia, I got sick, so maybe change of weather. So I needed medicine, but I couldn't find a good one. And also when there are visitors from America, when they were looking for a medicine, it's not working for them as well. So I think somehow that's something that we should, I think, look into, the medical supplies, the healthcare. And I think compare to the Philippines, here is quite expensive.
Oh,
So-
you mean what expensive?
Like, the healthcare.
The healthcare.
Yeah. So back in the Philippines, people are already complaining, our healthcare mahal. But here I realize, oh my God, thank God, we still have a good healthcare. So yeah, so I think that is something that I really want to do here. Healthcare system, like hopefully we can build even a small hospital, or something that is very affordable to the community or to the people. So yeah, me and my friends together with other family members and friends, we are, you know, trying to contribute to build a hospital or a clinic or something like that related to healthcare. But at the same time, one of the challenge that I see here is that even like those educated people, they don't know much about how to take their medicine. You know, they're not very open to blood testing or regular checkups. Like they just gonna go to hospital if they are already sick.
Yeah.
You know, but I think that is something that we should really teach to to the people and to the younger generation, that you know, prevention is always better than cure.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
So that is something that I really want to tackle here, like develop or explore more. So hopefully, you know, we can succeed in this area, and as well as with the education sector.
This is a big business.
Yeah, it's a big business, but also something that I think can also contribute to the society.
Yeah.
So as you do this business, you're also able to bless the community,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, and make it more affordable, you know, make it more accessible, and before forming the big healthcare, educate them with health literacy. I think is very important as well, that people would embrace the being healthy, you know, especially post pandemic. People should be more concerned
Yeah.
with our health, you know, our lifestyle,
Mhm.
right? And those things.
That's great, but yeah, well, sobat, Rania bilang bahwa memang benar pencegahan itu lebih penting dari pengobatan. Jadi orang Indonesia ini bukan saja dari masyarakat bawah, tapi orang-orang educated pun kadang-kadang sakit baru dia ke dokter atau berobat. Tapi seharusnya itu rutin. Puskesmas semua memang untuk menjaga kesehatan supaya jangan sakit. Sebelum sakit kita harus selalu mencegah, upaya untuk mencegah supaya lebih cepat ditangani. Kalau sudah sakit kan mesti ada obatnya atau lebih mahal pengobatannya. Dan well, Rania, I think we talk much, but I want to know your view on Indonesia. And as you see, because you are the one who, with your friends, summer school, only you come to Indonesia, want to stay in Indonesia, you fall in love with Indonesia, but I don't know, you fall in love with a guy in Indonesia or
No.
not yet. One day, you dream to fall in love with a guy in Indonesia?
I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, so what's your opinion about Indonesia?
Well, Indonesia for me is very similar to the Philippines. So it's the adjustment is not very hard. Although at the beginning, like I'm looking for Chinese food or
Yeah.
Korean food, you know. So quite hard for me to look for a restaurant here before,
Yeah.
because most of the friends that I have there, they just want the local food, you know. So somehow whenever I go back home, like, you know, I'm looking for like dumpling or something. So it's just the food that's quite challenging for me. But in general, you know, as I immerse, as I stay here more longer, I feel like Indonesia is becoming a home for me.
Yeah,
so
it's your second homeland.
Yeah, second home. So I love Indonesia. It's very homey for me. People are very welcoming as well. And yeah, baik people.
Orang baik.
Orang baik. Yeah, so yeah, now even if we're still building our businesses here, I really want to stay longer here, you know. So even before I was saying, like, perhaps even if I don't do business here, I do business in America or other countries, I will still live in Indonesia.
Oh, great.
Something like that, you know. So yeah, Well, quality of food is really good. Coffee is good. If I will compare the coffee, Starbucks coffee here and
Mm.
Starbucks coffee in the Philippines, I feel like the beans here are better.
Different? You mean
Yeah, I can feel it. Like,
the coffee, you mean?
yeah, I
The
think,
bean.
yeah, the beans is different. Like
Oh.
in the Philippines, I feel it's more acidic.
Oh.
Here, it's a good beans.
Indonesian taste, I think.
Yeah, so and quality of life is good too.
Mm.
Not as expensive in the Philippines, although almost same, but
Yeah, yeah,
I think the quality that you will get is better here. The food very, I mean, so a lot of different food. So now that I'm exploring culinary too, I realize, oh my God, Indonesia's a lot of
Mm.
different food. So now I don't miss Chinese food anymore. I see a lot of halal Chinese food here as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, in for me, Indonesia is a very beautiful country, very promising,
Yeah.
and hopefully, with your new government, you will get to develop more,
Mm.
and not just the infrastructure. I'm really hoping that you will also focus on the the core of the society, which is healthcare and education.
So, what the obstacles or challenging you face as a woman uh, coming to want to doing business or to
Well,
do something
for
social?
me, the challenge really is just the language. Because in the Philippines, like most of our documents, government documents, and also the regulations, it's all written in English.
Mm.
So here, my challenge is everything is written in Bahasa Indonesia.
Mm.
So as a foreign investor or as a, someone who wants to expand here, the challenge really is the language and how to deal with people, of course, because majority of the people, although there are people who can really speak good English, but in the community, like I want to immerse to the marginalized sector, I cannot communicate with them because in the Philippines, even the poorest people, they can speak English. So yeah, somehow just the language, that's the challenge for me. But in general, I think the opportunity here is very, very good.
Mm. Well, my last question is about politics, about geopolitics. Recently, President Prabowo signed joint statement with Chinese, with Xi Jinping of Chinese.
Yeah.
What, as a Filipino and as a Indonesia, there are many many criticize about the statement, but many also at the same time there are
Are
many
happy.
also happy with the joint
Joint,
statement. What do you think?
Well, as a Chinese Filipino, I'm very happy for you.
Hmm.
Because the political situation in the Philippines between Philippines and China is getting worse these days. So I admire leadership because they're able to sway these two big giants, America and China. And I think that's a good approach because it's people centered. So whatever the benefit that they can get from this agreement and partnership, it can contribute to the people and help the people. So let's say, you have Whoosh, the first in Southeast Asia. So and hopefully with this joint partnership, you will build more hospitals, more, projects that will be a big help for the community and people. So, I think China will never want a war. That's for sure. But of course, people has a different perspective of China. China only wants economic growth. And working with China, I think, will be very beneficial for Indonesia and its people.
Mm. So Indonesia, political view is they're selling in a two rock, China and America. So
Yeah.
they have to sway.
Right, right.
You
But
see?
you are very good in that. You know, I mean, your leaders are very good in swaying these two giants, and for me, that is very admirable. You know,
Okay.
for me, you know,
Yeah.
of course, people has different perspective, but if,
Yeah,
Yeah, but-
let the different perspectives go
yeah,
on.
but you know, the good thing, it can contribute to the people, to the community. You know, fast train is a very good way to, you know, to bring more tourists to Bandung, back to Jakarta in just less than an hour.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these things is a sign of a prosperous or getting to the golden Indonesia, right?
Yeah. I agree with you. We should not get trapped. We have to break through.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for the next generation to experience a better life, this generation should sacrifice.
Yes.
Well, my hope for Indonesia is to be more prosperous and for the people to be more educated uh, in terms of health, in terms of language, and also be more empowered, you know. Also, I wish and hope to see that people with its diversity will be more tolerant, will be more open to different people with different background. But you know, I know for sure that Indonesia will succeed in the next years to come, you know,
Okay.
with leadership and the people contributing for the betterment of this nation. For sure, you will reach the top that you are aiming, the golden 2045, right? So, yeah.
That's great. Well, Rania, thank you very much for talking with
Thank
you
you so
today.
much.
I wish we can get next talk.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Well, sobat leader di mana saja berada, demikianlah obrolan singkat kita dengan Rania, seorang Filipino yang hari ini berada di Indonesia dan ingin doing business or berbuat bisnis atau juga sosial yang disebut dengan social entrepreneurs. Mudah-mudahan apa yang dia lihat bisa mendapat teman-teman bisnis yang baik untuk bisa bekerja dan juga membantu masyarakat yang membutuhkan. Demikian saya Freddy dulu dan Rania, sampai jumpa lagi.